Welcome back to Business Boone, a product of the Boone County Chamber and hosted by Deep End Talent Strategies. I'm Shauna Lake.
And I'm Lauren Byram, and today we are joined by Kelly Braverman, who is the CEO of Witham Health Services. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. One thing that we like to ask all of our guests is if your life was titled a movie, what would the movie title be?
Yeah, I was prepared for this. Thank you. I think if I had a motto, it would be wonderful to say grace and flexibility, but the reality is I think the title should be "And Then," because every time, but I think of it like a book. You turn the page and then.
Yeah.
I'm not bored, and it works well with probably my personality and healthcare and being a, wife and mom and trying to do all the things. So there's always that "and then."
Yeah, that's true.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a great segue, and we obviously want to hear more about Witham Health Services, but tell us a little bit more about you and your background.
Yeah, so we've lived in Boone County now a little over 12 years. We have two kiddos, one in college and one in middle school. And so, frankly, if I'm not at work, majority of our life is revolved around what sports they're in, what activities, and what PTO or whatever we have to be at and when. So I don't think that's too odd for most people probably listening in, trying to juggle everything. Just have had a wonderful opportunity to spend majority of my career in Indiana. I think Indiana's pretty special. Flat, but very special. Nice people, and the fact that at least in my career, I've gotten the opportunity to work with people that really care about serving in healthcare. So it makes even the challenging days pretty nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks.
So you kind of touched on this, but healthcare is deeply connected and serves the community that it is in. And I think Witham is a great, Witham is a great steward in our community. I think that's what I'm trying to look for. So kind of tell me how Witham and the role that it has in Boone County.
Sure. So
Sorry.
no, I think Witham's pretty special. This May will be 111 years.
Wow.
Right? And that in and of itself is a huge milestone, I think, for any business.
Yeah.
Right? But think about what they have gone through over 111 years, right? And most recently, we made it through COVID. And it's really challenging with all the regulations and changes that are coming with the state legislature and the even at a government changes healthcare all the time, and we have to react and respond. And so having that ability to be flexible and have grace and continue to meet the needs of the community, it means you have to ask what the needs of the community are. And so we use something, a survey that's done. Many healthcare providers do this, but we've done this for quite some time to find out what's going well in the community and what healthcare needs do you need met that aren't being met, and then Witham works their tail off to meet those needs. So that's, I think, a little different. We haven't had a lot of growth in the 110 years compared to what is coming, and so that is going to be the next change of how we meet the needs of the community, because the community is going to become more diverse and have new opportunities, I hope, for us to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
To kind of build on your "and now" theme, and you did touch on some of the things that are happening in healthcare right now. What are some of the other trends or challenges that are happening in healthcare generally, and how is Witham responding?
Yeah, I think the big thing that wouldn't surprise most people is access. Finding the ability and morphing and changing to provide access where people need it, when people need it, how they need it. We have the ability to hire a lot of wonderful talent. Our biggest opportunity for improvement, if you will, right now is housing them. Right? What office are they going to be in? And so we need to grow in the number of buildings that we have to put these wonderful physicians and nurses and the rest of the staff to take care of the community so that we can continue to provide great access. And then, be a little more creative in what we can do with telemedicine and telehealth and how we meet the needs and the locations, because primarily I believe Witham was focused mostly on the Lebanon area. Well, we're a Boone County resource, and so we're looking at how do we expand into the southern part of the county and the northern part and all the parts where we're needed, and that takes buildings sometimes to put the humans in. That would be probably one of the bigger changes and challenges that's come up lately. I would say the other one that's probably consistent and not specific to Witham, but healthcare is complicated and complex, and healthcare billing is confusing, and words matter. And I'd love to take the opportunity, thank you for asking, but people will appropriately think that a bill is a certain dollar amount, and that is what the price is. I equate that no differently. I heard this great person talk one time and said, the back of the door of a hotel, and it says that's what the price is.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's the price. It's not what you pay, right? And so there's a big difference in understanding what price is put out on a website versus what, if you have insurance, they've negotiated differently. And every single insurance company has negotiated something different. But we're required to tell you what the price is.
Yeah.
And it's sticker shock, right? Yeah. And so that's pretty complex and complicated for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that. I think that's a good reminder for people. In the world of HR, we sometimes help people who get bills, and we remind them, wait till you get your EOB and match them up. But especially for people coming right out of school, maybe this is their first job, and they're getting their first bill. They're using their insurance for the first time, and you have to explain them what's a deductible, and I think that's a good reminder for businesses to help those first-time healthcare consumers learn how these things work.
Yeah, and don't ever hesitate to call with them. We have an amazing group of humans that want to help, and it can be complex and complicated, and we're trying to help make it more simplified. And so, or if you struggle to pay a bill, we have wonderful programs to help. And so don't assume that you're just stuck. We are here, we are a community resource, we want to help you, we want to make sure you're healthy, and that there's financial health too, right? And so we want to make sure that you know all the programs that we have that we can offer to help you with your bill payment.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and that kind of goes into the question that I have is how does Witham partner with local employers and the community and schools even to kind of support the overall health of the community and well-being of the county?
We offer a lot of programs, and we've got a great group of people that put together a calendar every month that tells all the wonderful things that we offer. And so I'm not even going to try to do it justice because I will forget half of them. But maybe one of the more visual reminders that we have of how we partner is more on a silent side, is that we have had over the years buildings that we have purchased or people have bequeathed to us that don't necessarily work in a healthcare environment, but we have them as assets. And so we have partnered with local not-for-profits to try and help offset their costs by saying, hey, do you need some building space that's not necessarily designed for healthcare? And so we have had a couple of little houses that we have access to that we couldn't make work for primary care or anything like that. And so examples, Boone County Senior Services, we partner with them on some property and land we have, and Cancer Society, Boone County Mentoring. These are buildings that are lovely, but they don't work for healthcare necessarily. So we have access to them, and we've tried to help offset the need in the community in other ways to help. And all of those areas really help health. So it's a wonderful partnership. We've also had some opportunities in the past, and we continue to work with them in the schools, partnerships that we've had with them. We continue to talk with them and figure out what they need and how we can meet their needs, how they can partner with us. The dollar only goes so far, so we have to get creative sometimes, but I think we're a creative bunch. It's really nice because in a community our size, you get to know the humans, right? And you get to have that relationship, and you can have real conversations that say, hey, how do we make 1 + 1 = 3? Because sometimes that happens, right? And those are the things that maybe we don't do as great of a job patting ourselves on the back or celebrating on social media or whatever you're supposed to do. We just try to take care of the need in front of us.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I do too.
You've mentioned your ability to hire amazing humans. So you must be doing really well as it relates to workforce development. What is the state of kind of workforce, hiring in healthcare in general, and how is that affecting or not affecting with them?
It's definitely affecting us. Okay. It is really challenging. I want to make sure the mic works. The ability for us to hire is challenging in that, in a few ways. We are getting, appropriately so, pretty picky. We are making sure at every turn that the humans that come to take care of patients, right, and that interact with us daily, align with our values, align with the behaviors that we're seeking. I think it's fantastic if you have the world's perfect resume, and that will get you an interview. But when you interview, we're going to be looking for opportunities for alignment. And can you tell us a time when? And then give a behavioral-based question to see how they handle it. Yeah. Because it's oftentimes those softer skills that really define if you're going to stay in an environment and be happy, and we're going to be happy with you and create that bigger, important culture. Because taking care of patients is really hard. Yeah. It's really important. Yeah. And you have to have a really big heart, frankly, to do that day in and day out. And to be there for your colleagues, you have to have a similar mentality. And hiring for that's not easy sometimes. So those things are really important. I don't know if we do it great, but we're trying to be more intentional about that. It's really turned into a beautiful thing when you've seen our first year turnover, which is a metric that we watch, get longer and longer and longer, right? That they stay and they want to stay it with them. And I wish we could say we paid the most, right? And I wish we could say we had the best benefits. We're getting better at both of those. But what I can say is when you come to work here, you will work with people that care a lot, have big hearts, and are really kind humans. And in the long run, we're finding that some folks that have left quickly have come back because we don't treat you like a number. We don't treat you like just a regular employee. We're taking care of family members. We're taking care of our neighbors, literally, right? It's not just a slogan. And when you walk in the door, someone in our front desk often will know who you are. Yeah. And so you have to hire, I think, very intentionally to make sure that aligns really, really well.
Yeah. Well, I can attest. One of my family members was recently inpatient, is doing well, and had an amazing experience. And everybody we encountered treated us like we were a neighbor.
Oh, wonderful.
It was a great experience.
I'm relieved but not surprised.
Yes. Well, it should be a predictable experience.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, terrific.
So as a CEO, what leadership skills or mindsets have been most critical for navigating complexity and uncertainty? I know you said that COVID was obviously very uncertain, and kind of talk to me about that.
Oh gosh, so I would say this is a learned skill, and I've often learned it the hard way. But the most important thing I can do is pause and just listen. Yeah. Ask more questions, seek to understand, go that level deeper, be quiet, and let the people around me talk and mull over whatever the issue is, and then interject with certain questions to get out more. I don't think I'm too different than most people. We come loaded with opinions and ideas, and anybody that's in a job with a title, you got there because you want to solve things, right? You want to make things better. But I'm not the best person to know what the best thing to do is. And there's a Japanese word called the gemba, go to the gemba. And I try to do that whenever I remember, I guess. And it's to go to the source, right? Go to the people impacted. I'm sure I could come up with a great HR policy, but I don't have to live it, right? And so go to the people that are impacted, that are going to have to execute that policy and live by that policy, and have them have a hand in creating it or tweaking it, so that there's the buy-in and the used and useful. Yeah. But I would say that starts with listening, and that's not the easiest skill, frankly, for me. like I said, I'm loaded with ideas. They're just not usually the right ones, right? And if I slow down and listen, oh, someone's got something so much better.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably the best. At Witham, we're lucky we have something that is called, we call it a PFAC. Everything in healthcare is an acronym, but Patient Family Advisory Council. So when we are contemplating executing a new change or something big that could impact a patient or the perception of the community, we have the ability to pull together a PFAC, and these are folks from the community that are that care about us and care about Witham, and then we kind of toss them this idea that we have, and then we let them beat it up. And it's really useful because there's a perspective there that's really important. And when you talk about the GIMBA, they're the ones using the healthcare, and hopefully promoting use of healthcare.
Yeah.
So that is a form of listening. That's a pretty specific tactic that we tried to use, and has proved pretty fruitful for some great ideas we thought we had when they may have hit a thud when we presented them. And so it helps you course correct and think through different perspectives, which I think gets you to hopefully a better outcome.
Yeah. I've never heard of Go to the Gemba, but I'm going to take it away from here if that's okay. Please.
It's not mine.
That's a really great.
Yeah. I've never heard of that either,
Yeah.
but that definitely has sticking power, so
Yeah.
thank you. I think you've already imparted a lot of wisdom, but we always like to end our conversations by asking our guests, what is something that you know now that you wish you had known earlier in your career?
Oh, yeah. So I think as a new employee or new to a career, I was excited to try and prove myself. And oftentimes what that did, it somehow impacted, or speed came into that. So you wanted to get it together, bring it to your boss, and here it is with a bow, right? And that was so wonderful. But I learned the hard way that slowing down actually can speed you up. And that doesn't make a lot of sense on surface, but slowing down to get buy-in, slowing down to say, if this, what do you think? Slowing down to say, oh, that's how that would impact you? Okay, slowing down to get more people involved is slow. It really is. But by the time you get the folks involved and you hear all the opinions and the thought process, you will have tweaked what you were originally going to present. Yeah. And by the end, no one thinks it's your idea anymore. They think it's theirs. And frankly, it is, because you've morphed it and listened to them and changed it. So by the time you go to roll it out or execute it, all the players know about it already. They've already talked about it, had input into it, understand the why, and they're ready to execute.
Yeah.
And so you don't have that stutter stop or that, well, it was a great idea, or the intent was. You've already worked through all that by slowing down. That's hard as a young employee that's trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn it the easy way.
Those are the best lessons, though.
Well, they stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do. That's great advice.
It really
Thank
is.
you for sharing
My
that.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a great conversation.
It has. If our listeners would like to get a hold of you or be in touch with somebody at Witham, how can they do that?
Oh, I'm the only Kelly Braverman there. So if you call our main line, they can certainly find me. I joke, my assistant, I'm sure, has GPS on me. But no, seriously, if you just called the main line and ask for me, I actually like it. It's not my normal part of the day, so it gives me something to talk to someone new and learn something new. So I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Terrific. That's very generous of you.
Yes, it is.
So thank you.
My pleasure.
It's been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you. It's been
you.
fun.
Good. And we will be back with more insightful conversations. Until then, continue leading and growing with purpose.